So if you weren't aware, you can craft these now in the crafting menu, but I want to go over some simple things that you want to do to make sure you can actually get all 15 of them, depending on when you're watching this. If you're watching this past Sunday, so on Monday or next, you're going to have to do something else that's a little bit different, so we're going to go over it. And I'm also going to talk about some other stuff, where to use these besides actually, making these, because you only need 15 times 15, that's 225. And every month you can actually get a lot more than that now, because, the mastery doesn't cost you keys. So we'll go ahead and get started. First, I don't think we need to tell you how to farm this, but I'll just show you really quickly, just for one boss. All right, so basically you come to a boss and just kill it, and then all you want to do is wait right next to it or on top of it, it doesn't matter. Also, I can't play the game. Escanor, blow. All right, anyway, you collect this, and within a few seconds, this is the same for every boss, so just stick around in the area. And also sometimes you get lucky and you get 5, so that way you don't have to do it 3 times, otherwise you'll have to do it 3 times. I don't think I can put my crafting tag. I can. So as you can see, we got 10 to craft it, and that's your weekly limit, and you can see he just respawned. So I think the frame is around 30 seconds. Within that time, the bosses will respawn and you can go kill them and get their materials to make the SR weapons. The same is going to apply to all of these weapons, but I would recommend have an extra of this one and also this one. So these 3 weapons, the rapier, the dual swords, and the grimoire, you actually want to have an extra to fully limit break. So if I show you in my inventory, there is 1 or 2 other ones that are decent. Like this one's trash. This one's also pretty trash. You don't really want superior efficiency that much, unless it's like Gila, I guess, but still, you're reaching. This one's also pretty bad. It's kind of like the nunchucks, but this one, as you can see, we have only 3 stars on it. Ideally, you wanted 6 stars because it lowers their crit resistance, especially on Jericho, because she teleports behind the enemy, which counts as a back attack, by 40%, and same thing with this grimoire on Daisy, because if you put down the turrets and they attack the back of the enemy, that will work. And then this rapier, you just need 1 for Gila because she reduces the defense of the enemy by 40%. So with some debuff duration efficiency, this goes up to like 20-25 seconds anyway, so you're constantly going to be able to proc this. So besides having those weapons upgraded, you can go ahead and salvage the rest. And from here, you have 12 weapons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And that is 12 times 5, 60. Now, if you think about it, if you just do these, you're not going to have enough to actually make these, because again, you need 225. If you're watching this with 3 weeks left, you're only going to have 180 instead of 240, which is how much you would need to actually make these 15. So instead, you would actually have to come here and to make these ones as well. This one's a little bit trickier. It takes longer because you need 20 of these. So what you would do is just the same thing. You go to the specific boss and you stand there, you kill it, and then you stand there for like a few seconds. You would have to do each run up to 7 times because each one gives you 3, and 3 times 7 is 21. So you can get lucky, you can get it done in 6, and with that you'll have enough materials. This one might be a little bit of a problem if you keep doing this over and over again, but we'll have to see because I have so much it doesn't really matter of all of them. Nope, that one's done as well. But you need 144 gold and you need 72 silver every week. So make sure when you're doing your daily runs, you actually pick up the gold and silver as well, if they're easy to do so. The molds that are called right here, so mold, hilt, shaft, these ones are pretty easy to get. You just need some polish, and also where you can get these sticky adhesive very easily. If you go over here to the teleport, the merchant in this area, right here, she has some sticky adhesive for 1 coin, so you're not having to farm the tree sap. And as you saw, we have quite a little bit of actually tree sap in our inventory. So let me go down here. So yeah, I have 114 or 18, and for each weapon you need 4, so that's 48. But you don't have to constantly make these ones. If you just make these ones every week, you'll have enough. You have 240 of these, but that's where you get 30, and then you would just have to farm 18 of these by yourself, or you can buy them from the gluttenous shop. I think that also has some, but yeah, don't buy it from here obviously, but the shop in gluttenous I think also has some of these as well. So if you want to do that, you can buy that every day, and that way you don't have to farm it at all, really. So again, if you're watching this on Monday or after, make sure you're making all these handles this week and next week. That way you'll have 120 from here and 120 from here. 60 and 60 both weeks, and you'll have 120, and then you can go ahead and craft these. So I already went over where to use these. I'm actually going to tell you where to use these and where not to use these. If I take a look at my inventory, what we have here, we have 5 dual swords, 3 wand, 2 axe, some gauntlets, a lot of great swords and nunchucks. So I would recommend holding on to, if I go to a legendary weapon, it's easier to show you, I would recommend holding on to 300, I think it's 400, 500, so you have, or around there. So you're looking at around 12 of these, 10 to 12 of these that you want to hold on to. For any gluttonous weapon mainly because you unlock the second passive. The only one that really sucks is Clothos because you don't get a second passive. You just get more burst efficiency and crit damage, but all the other gluttonous series weapons, they give you a second passive, which you always want to unlock because that's more damage that you're leaving on the table. But outside of that, also use some for the Breath of Glory weapons, especially like if you take a look at the longsword for Manny, or if you use it on Meliodas for the dual swords, you can do that as well. But you get 12% elemental damage and will also get a lot of attack, so about 30%. So Breath of Glory at level 4 is also very good. But outside of that, I am not a fan of limit breaking any of your SSR weapons. So like this one I might do, this roll is terrible by the way, don't look at that, but this one I was doing to level 4, so I might do that, finish it off, and then when Elizabeth's weapon comes out, I'll have enough of these because I don't have enough here to actually upgrade Elizabeth's weapon, so I would have to hold on to some to make sure I can unlock it. But let's say like these gauntlets, I don't really have to worry about them. When I get a gauntlet weapons, which is probably going to be with Derriere, we're going to get some gauntlets, or with Bon. Bon's probably going to be nunchucks because it's sacred treasure, but for those gluttonous weapons, mainly you want to use them unless you're struggling, like your main DPS, let's say is Escanor, you went all in on him and you're struggling, then you can limit break his axe all the way. Also because you can throw his axe on to Meliodas as a stat stick weapon, so you have at max attack, I believe you get 4900 attack, which is higher than the SR weapons, but you can still get it higher to, let's say, 5500 using a max limit break jet black weapon with equipment attack on it. So like if this was max level, you get, I believe, 4800. Yeah, so 4800 plus the 800 here, so 5600 is going to be your attack instead of 3900 here. So that's also a lot of attack. That's how you see people get a lot of attack. So if you want to max out a weapon, just make sure it's a gluttonous weapon. I also think there's a chance it gets buffed, so we might see Meliodas' weapon get buffed again. We'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, just wanted to make this quick video to make sure you guys are actually doing this, because technically speaking, this is one of the more rare items in the game. I wish this was maybe 25 a month, because that's kind of enough, close to enough to actually meaningfully limit break some weapons, but we'll see, maybe they'll increase this. But actually, if you're still watching, I think you should hold on to this a little bit, see if they announce anything in terms of changes where they might lower this count. Instead of 15, they might make it 10. That way you can upgrade some more SR weapons and you can make these for cheaper. So unless you're in a rush to make these to upgrade a weapon, I would recommend hold on to some of these, whatever you get. And then if you don't get any sort of announcement where they say we're going to reduce the amount for how much you need to make this, then just go ahead and make it and, use it on whatever you need. I hope you found that useful. If you want to watch a video where I just use Merlin and Meliodas for fun together, I'll leave that up on the screen. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.